we're going to start the season predictions. And we're going to start with my favorite one, which is underperformers. And I'm going to Giuseppe to begin with. Why can't I find it? Here it is. Giuseppe says that Cole Palmer is going to be the underperformer of the season. I need to know why.
That's what you said. That's changed it to Spurs. But no, the reason I say Cole Palmer, now listen, by the way, yeah, David's getting ready, but by underperformer, I'm not by any means saying he's going to have a bad season. I don't think he's going to have a bad season by being an underperformer. But I think what everyone expects him to produce this season, I don't know if he'll produce that. I don't think he'll produce that. Now, by the way, if he gets 15 GA this season, that's underperforming. So that's when
if he gets 15 GA, what's overperforming?
What's overperforming?
Yeah, so if he has another season like last season, I'm assuming that's...
What did he get last year? 32?
Yeah. Over 30, yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. For me, if he has an okay season, because by the way, his GA was, as much as people don't want to hear it, was heavily on the amount of penalties that Chelsea got. Yeah,
you got
same as when. I give
100%.
100%. But the same as that season when Man United got all them penalties and Bruno got insane GA, and everyone tries to use that against Bruno all the time. He was a Bruno Fernandez and all this. All that stuff. So for me, Palmer this season, I actually believe he could underperform. I'll say it. I've said it.
Well, just out of interest, he got 33 last year. So if he got 20 this year, you'd consider that underperforming.
If he gets under 20, this season, I would say that's underperforming. Yes, right, from what Chelsea fans,
it's an interest. I get your thinking. I do get it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, that's a crazy take, because ultimately because again it's a new manager. We could end up in a new system where he performs exceptionally well, but he ends up getting loads of second assists instead of normal assists. So on his official GA, he only gets 16 or 17, but it doesn't show up. I get that.
I'm going to Kate next. Your underperformer you have down as Bruno Fernandez.
I do. You know why, Terry? You built it up so massive over the Euros. This is going to be his competition. He's going to shine. He's going to be the man, and he did nothing. He's now got a new contract extension. I just think he's going to have a really poor season. That's my prediction. And I can't wait for it. I'm here for it. I'm ready for the tears and the excuses. But yeah, I just got a feeling he's going to do an Adebayor, get his contract extension and not give a monkeys.
Tom, you've gone with Son at Tottenham.
I feel like you've got Solanke in them, who isn't the kind of striker that I think is going to play into HeungMin Son's hands. So I feel that for Son, he's going to have to stick out wide a lot more and go more into a creative type of role. And I just don't see, at this point in his career, him adapting to that as well as he, could do in years gone by. I feel like Son's normally a guy who gets you really decent numbers. I feel like this could be a season where the numbers seem to dry. He might get, a couple more assists than usual, but certainly struggles on the goal scoring side with the new additions, and probably, because he was up front a lot last season for Tottenham. So the one thing I like about Postecoglou's system is the striker gets a lot of chances. The system's kind of built to give the striker the chances in the box. If Son's out on the wing, he's not going to get them chances that he was getting.
But that doesn't mean he's not going to perform, because if he's running down that wing, creating opportunities,
I don't think he creates as well. Though I don't think he's a creator.
He's underperformed by his standards, or genuinely just underperformed the whole season. Because he got 27 GA last year, which for a 31-year-old is a pretty good return.
I'm saying that Son could have a season like the one he had before last. Where he was like a very
10 league
player.
Goals,
He'd have a month where he was dead good, and then 3 where he was just off the boil. I think you could have another season like that from Son.
Okay. Fair enough.
Not a bad take, to be fair.
David, we're coming to you next, and you've said Declan Rice is going to be the underperformer of the season. Tell me why.
That man caused me so much grief. It's deserved. That's point one.
People weren't there at the Euros. That man in the fan park, any England game, he would hold the mic for half an hour and just go on and on about how Declan Rice is the problem.
KJ didn't lose that whatever the thing. I can't remember what it's called. I'm having a mind hard drive. You man would have seen a compilation of me just cussing this man out because he was so bad, right? And also, he's 100 mil. Now, for 100 mil, his objective is to win big trophies. And if them man don't do it, for me, he's a flop. I don't care.
David, half your midfield is 100 mil. I'm just putting
that. No, but yeah. No, but again, why are you acting like I wouldn't put that on my own club? I have been the biggest proponent of 100 mil signings are stupid. You should never do them because ultimately it's too much pressure and it's hard to live up to. That Declan Rice guy who can't even pass a ball forward is 100 mil. He's on fraud watch. I'm watching Arsenal games intently now because I think I've been lied to. I'm watching him. So that's my biggest underperformer.
Igal, can you imagine Declan Rice underperforming based on his standards this season?
I think because he's on set pieces, he's gonna get more assists, and in the role that he's in, he's not. How is he going to be underperforming? We have a balanced team. He's not going to be sticking out as an underperformer unless you start seeing him having stinkers week after week, and that's very unlikely. The worst you're going to see out of him is
stinkers 6 games in a row. It's likely.
The worst you're going to see where England.
Yeah, I seen it.
I think what you look at in football is different from what he's actually supposed to be doing. Because I thought he had a decent tournament. You're over.
What?
Yeah.
Nah. Igal, don't set me up.
Because we'll see if him off again.
Okay, let me ask you a simple question. If you watch England's games, you said the man barely passed the ball forward. Who passed the ball forward more, him or Kobbie Mainoo?
Like again, it's weird. Kobbie Mainoo again. Did he really pass the ball forward? No, but at least he regressed it through dribbling. Declan Rice was passing it to this guy, misplaced pass. I want it back. Oh, I'm gonna go back to. I'm not having it. I'm sorry, I ain't having it.
I want to jump in. I don't think Declan Rice is going to underperform. I think he'll have another good season. However, let's not start comparing a player that's 19 versus a player in his mid to late 20s.
No, Terry, I'm strictly speaking about. This is not a shot at Kobbie Mainoo for 1 second.
Oh, it was.
Understand that this is strictly because everyone speaks about one player as if he cannot pass the ball forward at all. But at the same time, if you compare him to his teammates, he passed the ball forward more often than his own teammates. So in one breath, they're dissing one guy. In the other breath, they're bigging up another guy. I get it, the age difference, but I'm simply saying your eye test is showing you that you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, viewers, give us your thoughts, give us your feelings. We can't debate all these subjects for like half an hour, otherwise we literally will be here for about 5 hours. So, Igal, your underperformer of the season, you're going with Enzo Fernandez. Tell us why, Igal.
Not only do I think he's going to underperform, I think it's going to be a situation where he's going to be out of favor and not even in the first team. Like consistently getting picked as a starter. I think he's going to be a rotation bench player come the end of the season. I think you're going to have guys like Nkunku forcing their way into the team. You have Caicedo, who's going to be consistently there. Lavia, who's coming back from injury. And I think with the manager who came from Leicester, he's going to be picking Dewsbury Hall consistently. So with Caicedo and Dewsbury Hall there, and potentially Nkunku or somebody else playing in a 10, where is Enzo going to play? Not only is he going to underperform, I think it's going to be a situation where you're going to have 100 million plus on the bench consistently come the end of the season. And there might be some problems with the ownership and the people who bought him saying, you got to play this guy. And they're going to be like, he can't even get on the pitch.
Don't say that to Don.
I think the comparison with having, I don't think Enzo's competing with Lavia per se. What I imagine is going to happen is I imagine Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo will be on rotation, but the actual rotation will be between whether Caicedo plays as an 8 or as a 6. That's what I actually.
What about Dewsbury Hall?
I think
Dewsbury Hall is going to be in.
I think Dewsbury Hall and Nkunku are playing in that most forward role as in like Chelsea's midfield. So again, I don't think Enzo's competing for that role.
So what role is he competing with? Because
there's 3 in midfield. There's 3 in midfield. There's a 6. There's 6 and 8 and a 10. Let's say, right. The 6s are Caicedo and Lavia. The 8s are Enzo and Caicedo. The 10s are Nkunku and Dewsbury Hall. So I don't think they're actually in direct. I mean, again, that's what I've seen from preseason. I could be wrong, so I'm not going to sit here and be like it's a mad take. But that's personally what I see it as. But
who are your 2 essentials that are going to start week in, week out at Chelsea?
I think it depends who you play. I think you could end up in a situation where if we're playing Arsenal or Man City and we're getting dominated, I think you can end up with a midfield 3 of Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo playing all together. I think that could happen. But I think I think if you play like a Ipswich, then you end up in a situation where you're going to have Lavia, Enzo, and Nkunku, or you could end up with Nkunku and Palmer playing if we need a goal. So,
100 million Caicedo on the bench?
It could happen. I'm not going to say it wouldn't, but I wouldn't.
I think Dewsbury Hall is going to be the guy who him and Caicedo are going to be the 2 guys who are staples, and the other position, depending on if you're going attacking, defensive, or you're facing a team that's just you can patter, you're going to play the other person as Nkunku or Lavia, or if there is ever a case where you play Enzo, I think still Caicedo and Dewsbury Hall are going to be the essentials for Chelsea, and that's where Enzo becomes expendable.
There we go. Viewers, give us your thoughts, give us your feelings on that. And Henry, we're going to your pick. You've picked a team, not a player. You have said Aston Villa will underperform.
Yeah, I think Villa last year could get away with rotating a lot of their bigger stars, Douglas Luiz, Watkins, etc. in the Conference League. And I think we may see a similar season to when Newcastle had the Champions League. Have Villa done a good transfer window? By all means, they've signed some good players, Onana, Maatsen, etc. But I just think with Watkins being their main goal threat, and Diaby's gone, having to play every single basically game now, I think there is going to be a bit of a drop-off. They've got a fantastic manager, though, Unai Emery, but I do think they could finish anywhere between kind of 6th and 8th. And for me, that is a significant drop-off from being in the Champions League last year.
It is. It could be. Viewers, give us your thoughts, give us your feelings on that. We've got some super chats on that particular section. First one says, come on, Tom, don't play the usual Terrace Liverpool fan. I don't know what that means, but there we go.
I don't even think I've actually discussed Liverpool at any point today.
How can Rice be the underperformer if Arsenal win the league?
He could get dropped.
There we go. Palmer is the best player in the world. Keep crying, haters, is what Abdi says here. Rice has one of the highest forward pass percentages in the Premier League.
I'm watching every Arsenal game. Trust me, I'm sat down if I can.
Tells me you're going to end up changing your opinion then.
That's cool. If I change my opinion, I'll hold my hands up. I'll say I was wrong. But as of today, forward watch.
Alfie here says, can't pass forward, but scored a goal against Chelsea halfway out on a first touch, is what Alfie says. I haven't heard more nonsense from one person in my life. Any F1 teams hiring. If Rice scores against Chelsea again, David should wear an Arsenal kit for a full top 6 show. Yeah, no. Deal.
No, you can't include the deal for me.
No, I can't. I like the deal, though. It's a good offer.
What about if Rice gets player of the season? What about if Rice gets player of the season? Then you.
If Rice gets player of the season, no.
No. Someone asked David who had the most forward passes in the knockout stages of the Euros. I bet it's Declan Rice, isn't it?
No, it might be, but you weren't there. You didn't know the I can't lie, it's an agenda. It's trauma that's manifested itself on the paper. That's what it is.
How is it trauma? You support Germany sometimes.
No, I'm an England fan first. Everyone will tell you I'm an England fan first.
Yeah, watching him over there was definitely England. Definitely.
Yeah,
England.
exactly.
Darren here says, how can you compare Southgate's lifeless tactics with Arteta's, who really performed? Wasn't Foden the player of the season?
He was a fraud as well. No, I'm telling you, Walker Walker, Rice, Kane, Foden, all of them, they're all in the same boat for me. All of them.
So why didn't you pick the player of the season to be a letdown?
Because I wanted it to be Declan Rice. Ooh, no.
I don't think people understand.
We are moving on next.
What player? No player was safe from David and then Fan Parks. No player.
True.